Hey everybody, this is Rice Bonds, Montana the Young, back here with you again. And I got a three package mail day on Friday this week, on the week that's ending April 24th. This all came in Friday, but I just haven't had a chance to open them, so I figured I would open them here on camera so that you guys could see what odds and ends I have coming in. Maybe see the process I use when I pick a card I want. I've long wanted a clean copy of this in Fuego. I don't think I actually have one, and if I do, it's pretty beat up. I'm not the biggest fan of SGC. I've got nothing against them. I do like a slabbed card, and I think it's a good opportunity when you buy cards that are pre-slabbed to see what kind of what kind of standard a grading company uses. You can see the white there on the back corner, but it is a full bleed card that goes all the way out to the border. So you don't expect it to be perfect anyway, but on the front, it's pretty nice. I have to say, there's visible imperfections, but nothing that jumps out at you would bother you about the card. This is from 96 Select. I've wanted this card partly because a friend of mine from one of the Facebook groups used this card as a backdrop and put it in front of a camp, or put it in front of a fire actually, in the fireplace of his near the fireplace of his home, and it was just such a cool shot of a real flame behind this one. And I was like, someday I'm gonna do this card justice when I add it to my collection. And I saw it, for a decent price on eBay. It was graded as being mint or nearly mint. So, well, I mean, it says mint here, but we can just assume that means nearly mint in almost every case. Just because I think a lot of us are more exacting with our naked eye than even the graders are. I don't think anybody wants to get a whole bunch of sevens and eights packs, which is good foreshadowing for actually what happened with me when I submitted my first cards for PSA. But yeah, I mean, that card is pretty great. In the front, it's well liked. The technology, the Dufex technology on the front is well liked by a lot of people, more by most others than I. But this card is cool. What does it say right now? It says people keep trying to figure him out, but there are really only a few things you need to understand. He's the most complete player. Quick wrists. He does absolutely make the game look easy. Dan Patrick seems to claim that his nickname is the Sledgehammer, but I think maybe Dan Patrick, and only in his own mind, has anybody ever nicknamed Barry Bonds the Sledgehammer. I'm not actually the biggest fan of Dan Patrick. I found him to be pretty sanctimonious. He's pretty rigid in his views. They don't seem really internally consistent, like a lot of people who don't have views that sort of that don't have views that adapt with new information, or that when they don't see kind of their blind spot or the hypocrisy in the views. I guess what I'm trying to say is he's not a big fan of Bonds. I don't think he thinks he belongs in the Hall of Fame, so I have a problem with Dan Patrick. I guess that suffice it to say that's all you need to know about that situation there. All right, so I thought that this is what it was, and this is from 1998. I'm a big fan of the Triumvirate. It comes with the Luminescent and Illuminator. Those are the shiny ones. Luminescent is the middle tier. Illuminator is the most difficult tier. And Luminous is the non-shiny version of the Triumvirate. And I like the 99 in particular, but I've begun working on 98. It's hard to see shiny cards like this because usually when you do it on a flatbed scanner, you can't see the rainbow shine, and so you can't really tell if it is what you think it is. But given the scan that I saw, I thought there was a good chance that this was the Triumvirate Luminescent at the very least, and if I got really lucky, it would be the Illuminator. But the Luminescent has always been my favorite leg anyway of the three, even though it's only the second most rare, just because it's not see-through. It's also not holofoil on the back. There's no rainbow shine on the back, but because it's a solid card, the shine technology comes through better, in my opinion. So this is very nice to have. I think I might have the Illuminator, or I think I might have the Luminous. So it might just be only the Illuminator left that I need from this. You know, when you start out on a project, you know, when you have only the Illuminator for one of the three possible years, it feels like you're never going to get there. But I completed 99. I may have completed 2000. And now I'm at least one third, if not two thirds, on the way to finishing this run. It's a beautiful card. I didn't even know it was coming in, but as you can see, I put three cards in the back there that I am going to be sending to CSG for grading. Anything that I think has a decent chance at a 9, I'm going to send in my first volley of cards. They're charging about $12 a card if you submit in bulk at the economy level. So this is from 2000. This is also the Illuminator from 2000. So these are both inspired by the Illuminator that I got from 1999 that sort of started me down this rabbit hole. It's still the prettiest card of the three, in my opinion, although they all look pretty amazing. This one would take second place for me just because of the texture, the fact that it's, kind of a leather facade in the background, kind of a glove type color, really, really makes the rainbow shine come off very uniquely. This is, of course, also a really cool card. I mean, you're not going to get a more unique shape to a card, for better or for worse, than a card like this. And, they saved a lot of trouble for collectors in 2000 because they actually put at the bottom what it was. Whereas in 1998 and 1999, you actually just had to figure it out for yourself. So here we are, the 98 and the 2000 Illuminator at Barry Bonds. Very cool. I didn't plan this. I just wanted to put three shiny cards back there that I've gotten ready for submission to CSG. I would say that this card is a little bit underrated in my mind just because we know that it followed up the legendary 1996 Mirror Gold, and then it was found out later on that this was not out of 30 the way it was the year prior, that in fact they may have printed 4 or 6 different runs, so there might be like 4 or 6 times 30 of each of these Mirror Golds out there. They're still very, very nice cards with a very, very nice flat shine, mirror-like shine. But the fact that they're not nearly as scarce does take away from the allure. But when you look at it after knowing how much less it's considered than the 1996, how much less well regarded it is than 1996, and then you look at it, you're like, oh, this is still an incredibly beautiful card that anybody would be lucky to have. So I got this with the peel on as part of a gigantic lot that I purchased, but I took the peel off because it didn't look good. And maybe I regret that decision now, just because I know that folks who are really, really hardcore about their cards generally prefer to leave the peel on. I don't know. In this case, I just really wanted to appreciate the beauty of the card. Value going forward be damned. Okay, so now for the last of the 3 packets, and I don't actually know what this is going to be, but I assume it's going to be another relatively small card. I've actually been picking up all my pickups recently, so I don't really remember what's coming in. And it's nice to have a little bit of a surprise too. So your guess is as good as mine for what this is. It seems like, could it be graded? I don't know. It's in plastic, so I don't know if it's just a one touch or if this is a graded slab. Okay, let's see. Okay, this is graded. So, another, oh, I know what this is. This is, this is the 1987 Fleer True Rookie card that was pack issued. I bought it off a guy who came onto the Bonds group and offered it at a fair price. He said it was his childhood card. I just thought it was strange that he would sell his childhood card for $20. But I thought it was really well centered, left to right. That's usually a problem. It's not dead centered, but it's pretty close. And I have never really rushed to get a copy of this card just because I know that there were basically 1 million printed. And they're going to be 1 million PSA 9s someday. But grading is like prohibitively expensive, especially with PSA. So the only way I'm going to get this card in a PSA slab is if I just straight out buy it. So I'm much more open to getting a well-centered, high eye appeal PSA 9 of this. I would love to find a glossy that is as well-centered. I spoke to the seller's brother. He actually sold me 3 more of these Mint 9 cards. The Donruss, another one of these that's even better centered, and then the glossy commemorative set that was given as a box set in 1987. Same exact thing, except that there's a gloss laminate over it. I also don't have that Bonds, but I have it coming in. It is pretty off center left to right, which is the problem that most afflicts this set. When I saw that it was a nice, decent copy for a decent price, I figured $20. Like, if you like a card, pretty much any card I think is worth $20, especially in a slab. So, very nice small addition to the vintage collection. Even though most cards and graded cards have spiraled so quickly out of control, cards like this, commodity cards, cards that are super common, they have dropped back down and are affordable again. So, it wasn't too late to pick them up. I'm glad I was able to wait for that lull in the cycle. And so, yeah, the backdrop, this is an underrated card. I think this is an overrated card. Basketball folks love this card. If basketball folks love it, you can bet that the hobby at large just goes bat crazy for it. It's fine. I don't love the matte foil board. And, of course, the picture is terrible. It looks like it just popped up and it's not even in play. So, I guess it's a cool pose in a vacuum, a cool expression in a vacuum, but anyone who enjoys and watches baseball knows that that's not a well-struck ball. At least he's having fun and smiling big. But yeah, so I think that's a little bit overrated. I think that's a little bit underrated, and I think that's just about properly rated. Not very many people know what it is. It's the third best looking of the triumvirates, I would say. But still a very cool card, and one that I'm looking forward to getting in a CSG slab. Okay, guys, until next time. Thanks a lot for watching.